the principles you want to enjoy as a person to your people. The Nigerian senators and the Nigerian government officials want to enjoy good life, but they don't want their people to enjoy the same good life. That's the point I'm making. Now, bringing it down to the Nigerian budget. So I would have thought that we have only 2 months to go. I do not see what the rush is to send in a supplementary budget. Supplementary budgets usually are sent in when you have like 6 months or whatever. This is just 2 months. Why don't you use this period to prepare for the 2024 budget? And if there are any exigencies that you would have loved to do now, you shift those things as a line item into the 2024 budget. That's something more reasonable and rational to do. But no, like I said, we have a bunch of people who want to have good life, but they don't think their citizens are good enough to enjoy this good life that they want to enjoy. That is the problem with Nigerians. Now, secondly, on voting for cars for whether it is I'll come to the first lady, but whether it is our senators and co, and all these irrational defenses they make. In the US, at least I know that, they don't buy them official cars. They give them allowances to, help themselves. I mean, you're a senator from Illinois, so you're having to move to Washington. Some don't live in Washington. Some stay in hotels for the period of the sitting, and as soon as the sitting is ended, they fly back to their constituency because they can't afford it. Those who can afford, they come to Washington, especially the top officials. Maybe you're the Senate majority leader. They go and rent a new house. Some even share renting. Good of you know this. You see 2 senators sharing an apartment. It happens here in the US. Now, where am I going with that? We need to abolish this whole mindset of buying official cars for our senators. There are senators in the US who are very wealthy. They have private jets, so they can easily fly into Washington and fly back to their constituency. But there are other senators who don't have that. They don't have, maybe we're not a businessman. Obama used to hitch a ride with other people. He couldn't afford certain things when he was senator. You will see him, maybe he lived in a hotel. His wife did not come to Washington with him when he was a senator. He goes home every time they had a recess to go and help run his family because he can't afford it. And his constituents can't afford to pay for that. I think this whole mindset of a uniform system of every brand new senatorial or legislative year, we buy brand new vehicles, Nigeria needs to stop it. There is no nation in the world, even in Canada, members of parliament, their lives are not funded by the state. What simply happens is they give them a little allowance. Some of them go and stay with their relatives. You will find senators who have a friend. They go and live in the person's basement, and from the basement, they go to the National Assembly to go and do the business of the day. But we are funding a lifestyle that is taking people from penury, and we are making them millionaires with national budget. We need to stop this. Whoever is listening to me, Nigerians need to start saying enough of funding lifestyle to take somebody from penury and make him a billionaire through national wealth. It needs to stop. Now, someone said that there's nothing wrong with First Lady having car. I don't know where that person is coming from. In the US, Obama is paid a salary. Sorry, Biden is paid a salary. But guess what? Biden funds his feeding in the White House. There is no separate salary for him and then a separate maintenance of his lifestyle in the White House. It is from that his salary. He pays electric bill. It is that is his residence. So he's responsible for the electric bill while he lives in the White House. He's responsible for the feeding. If he invites 6 of us on this panel today to the White House, he will pay for our feeding for that few hours we're going to be there if he's going to entertain us. There is no special brown envelope they're going to give all of us. Nigerians need to begin to look at this. That's why it feeds into why I say some of us are excusing these things, because we are hoping that one day we will get there. It will be our turn. It is this mindset of let me not stop this thing so that when it's my turn, then I can also enjoy it. That is why people are not asking for the right things to be done when it comes to the way our nation is being run. Until we begin to take away this mindset that, so what happens the day it becomes my turn? Listen, the First Lady is not a constitutionally recognized office. Yes, the Americans, we may have borrowed the First Lady concept from them, but still, I do not know any first lady in America that was paid a salary or bought a special car. They drove the vehicle that was already allocated to their husbands. If she was going for a function, it's the vehicle that carries the president that will take her. Or in the convoy of the presidency. There's no special vehicle bought for a special, first lady's office. It does not exist anywhere in the US or in any sane nation. It does not exist. It is what is already allocated to the convoy of your husband that you enjoy. And then they go into having pet projects. Those pet projects that they run within that period is not funded by the government. It becomes a charity. They source funding for those things. So, for instance, Obama's wife will say maybe she wants to go into horticulture, planting of flowers or whatever. She wants to see people, stop being obese and all those things. She will go and look for organizations that will fund it, give her the funds to run that project. There is no federal funding for her office because her office is unconstitutional. I think Nigerians need to understand this. Is it too much to ask? Painfully, the same people we're fighting for sometimes think some of us are not making sense. I have come to see how things are run. And I say, how did we get to this place where we are paying the president of Nigeria a salary? Then we are buying a bike for the president's son. Then we are giving his wife a stipend. How? Why? A woman we didn't vote for. If she wants to earn money from being a state official, she should have stayed as a senator. Go and be a senator, and then let's know that she's in the Senate. But why now that she has moved into be her support? She's there to help her husband, be with him and everything, cook for him. Her job is not to go and own an office and start running a project that will now become a burden to taxpayers. We need to begin to understand this.